Hey there, I am Katelyn, and I feel like there is a constant struggle for a lot of photographers that no one really talks about because we all want to believe that we're better at this than we really are. But the truth is, we all kind of struggle with styling the invitation suite. I don't know about you, but it is the number one thing when it comes to shooting details on a wedding day that can stress me out. It probably stresses me out more than trying to carry the dress around, a hotel and not drop it and get it dirty. The invitation styling, I think we just see so many beautiful invitation layouts, perfectly styled. And the truth is, a lot of what we see on Instagram, a lot of what we see during the scrolling, a lot of them were styled by planners, by stylists during styled shoots, where that person had all the time in the world to just sit down and lay out and figure out exactly what needed to go where. And so as photographers, it can be really overwhelming for us to know like we have so much to capture, we have so much to shoot, and we want it to be perfect. Like we want the ribbon to perfectly flow organically through the whole suite. We want to make sure that our spacing is right so it doesn't look too spread out. The common issue that I see with a lot of photographers that post detail shots is that they try to do way too much. Like they try to put so much stuff into one picture and they're not really strategically thinking about, okay, what fits with the day? What elements are going to fit and what's going to flow really well? And they try to include everything. I mean, they got the shoes and the ribbon and twigs and earrings and necklace and rings on the side, plus every part of the invitation suite. And they're trying to cram it all into one picture. And what it ends up looking like is a pile of bridal stuff with no flow, no heaviness in some areas and lightness in some areas, no negative space. So I know this is a struggle and I'm not picking on anybody. I have struggled with this so much in my career, but after 11 years of shooting, I finally started realizing just what the tricks are to make sure that these invitation suites really look their best and don't look too busy. Now, I will say this, I'm going to show you a video today where you're going to watch me style an invitation suite. It's a beautiful invitation suite. There are some additional elements. You'll watch me add the ribbon, everything. But what I'm not using a styling mat and I'm not using a styling board. And I will admit to you, this would have been so much easier if I had flown down to Georgia to shoot this wedding and taken a styling mat or a styling board with me. But I didn't do that. One, because I never do that. And I don't have anything against styling boards or a styling mat, but I think pridefully, I take a lot of pride in the fact that for over a decade, I've never needed that to assist me. I have always been able to find a flat surface, a neutral surface, good reflective light with just whatever I can find in the room. And in some ways, it makes me a little bit more creative. And I feel like I'm solving a puzzle when I don't just lay out a flat whiteboard and say, well, that's what I'm going to use. So in some ways, I think I have a little bit of pride about that, and I'll work on that because it would make my life a lot easier if I just took a mat with me. But I also think that it's a good creative challenge for me. And I think that's why I haven't really switched over to using those. Now, if you use those, you should use them. I think they're great. I really should use them. But I wanted to explain in this video why you're not seeing me use them, in case you were wondering, because I'm sure we're going to get questions like that. So I hope you enjoy this, because as I was editing through this video, I thought I should share this with everybody because right now, this entire wedding is only being shared with our KG All Access members. It's a brand new episode that just came out. You can watch me shoot this entire day. It's a beautiful southern wedding. We had overcast skies and then we had glow. We had lots of people, big bridal party, but we had this cohesive, beautiful look to the whole day. And I'm excited because everyone in KG All Access, if you are a member, you get to watch me shoot the entire day, and you get to see how we created that cohesive look for a final gallery. Not only do our KG All Access members get to see me shoot behind the scenes, but they also get to see me edit. So you're watching me make lighting decisions, you're watching me overcome obstacles, make decisions, tweak things. Then you see the straight out of camera image, and then you see me take it into Lightroom and edit it. And then you see the whole scroll through of the final gallery for our clients. So When we say you get all access, you're getting all access. So if you are a member of KG All Access and you're watching this, congratulations. Go log into your portal. You have a brand new episode to watch. If you are not in KG All Access, maybe this is a great month for you to join, because when you join, you not only get this month's, like this wedding, but you also get last month's content for free. So might as well try it out. It's only $29. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this free video of invitation styling. It's just a quick video from a recent wedding that we shot, but I think it's helpful and I think you're going to enjoy it. And so take the tips, take the tricks, take the things that I'm telling you, and maybe apply them the next time you shoot and see if it makes a big difference. Enjoy.
And the reason why I picked this is because it matches her belt on her dress. And I know that that look is going to be in every portrait all day long, so it's a consistent element. Whereas sometimes a detail you'll see, like this, obviously, I'm going to take one picture of this. So this is not going to be something that is a theme throughout the day. So if there's something like a theme, I'm going to highlight that in the detail shot so that everything looks more consistent overall. So with these, I'm going to have to decide, am I going to go for a vertical shot, or am I gonna try to do it horizontal and fluff the sides so you can't really see the edge? I'm probably gonna do vertical because then I have a little bit more space. Of course, I always could use this bench, but it's just, it's a little bit, you'd be able to see holes underneath the fabric. So start with this. We're gonna break up the dark blues, because if you put this down here, it would look too heavy. This is starting to get a little too horizontal. It really feels like a puzzle, I feel like. Like trying to get it visually, like I think that's too much. Those monograms are they're too similar in size. But you also want to maintain similar spacing. Like you don't want to have that line consistent. That's going to look weird. So you want to make sure you're always creating different peaks. It's very complicated, but because these are so simple, like if this was smaller, it'd be less difficult, but I may just,
You have to leave that piece out.
yeah, I could.
The whole thing is so similar.
Yeah, we could do that and simplify. Or tuck it and put a bigger, I wish I had some free floating florals, but, I don't think she mentioned that, did she? No.
I don't think I saw any.
I could hide that with a little bit of some earrings. Because I think I need a piece of white down here to weight it from that. Another thing is, I always do this. I get it set up and I'm like, oh wait, we've got ribbon.
So when Michael was watching through some of this footage, he's like, oh my gosh, do you always set up everything and then add the ribbon? That seems crazy. And it is kind of crazy, but in my mind, until I see the final layout, I don't know where the ribbon needs to come across. Like I don't know where the ribbon needs to go from top to bottom, and where it needs to exit and enter the frame. And so it does seem crazy to then add the ribbon after I just carefully and meticulously placed all these pieces together. But I know that now that I see the setup, I can take the ribbon, place it where I want it, and now start putting it underneath the pieces that it needs to go underneath in order to not be too dominant. So it sounds crazy to do it this way, but I tend to have better luck and more, I tend to like my images more when I arrange them this way. But it does take time. I mean, invitation styling takes time. And I don't know about you guys, but for those of us who really see details in a precise way. Sometimes I will see detail shots on Instagram from other photographers on wedding blogs, different wedding accounts. And when the spacing is off and the elements are just a little bit off, I mean, it really bugs me. And so I am very particular about these things because I really visually I have a high expectation for what it should look like. So you may think that I'm taking way too much time. This is crazy, but this is where I am the most detailed and where I'm the most like zoned in on every little part of the process, more so than the shoe shot, more so than the ring shot. This is where I get really picky about these things.
Is it hot in here or is it just me?
It's getting warm.
Okay.
The sun.
Yeah.
through these windows.
It's a hot room. Huh, let's see what this looks like. Let's see. So I'm just trying to cover up a little bit more of the chair, especially here. So I like everything except this is too flat and this cuts off too harshly. So I might bring this little guy over. It's probably not the most efficient way to do this, but I just need this to look like it continues. So I'm going to make it continue a little bit with this, this chair. And because it's actually elevated higher, it's going to make this look blurry, which I think will probably look pretty. So you may be wondering, Katelyn, why didn't you just use a styling board or a styling mat? That would give you a flat surface. You wouldn't have to worry about fitting it into a confined space or the edges. You are right. That would definitely make this easier and simpler. And I'm not anti-mat or board styling at all. I do find it challenging and kind of fun, actually, in a way, to figure out how to create images like this just with whatever I can find. And I think that's just because this is how I started my career. When I started shooting over, 10 years ago, there wasn't anything called a styling board. I mean, you could make your own, but that was not a trend. And so I just had to learn, like, how can I use whatever's in the room to make this work for me? And so maybe I will start using a mat, like a styling mat in the future. It would have been hard to travel with a styling board on an airplane, but I know it's possible. People do it all the time. But a styling mat, I'm not opposed to that at all. But I just wanted to explain kind of why I enjoy the puzzle solving, the problem solving um, in a situation like this. I just think it strengthens my creativity. And I just put that paper under there so that the edge, see, look how pretty that is. So the edge of the chair was a little bit brighter and it wasn't a distraction. So now I'm moving on. Now that I have the shot that I want, all that work, that one flat overhead shot. Now I'm going to move on, change my lens and start doing some detailed shots from different angles for the sake of the blog and for the sake of the invitation designer. I just want to make sure I have different angles of all these different design elements. Your earrings. So I normally do the whole set and then I start piecing it apart for tighter shots. I'll do a few more from the side.